came in dressed a little bit alike.
Yes.
I like that.
We should do it more often.
We're tapped in. That mental telepathy thing works, even when we're not in front of each other. Yeah,
tapped in. Let's see if the Lakers are tapped in.
There you go.
We need them to be because the Lakers got the much anticipated return of Anthony Davis on Thursday night versus the Mavericks after missing 30 straight games with a calf strain. AD was back in action and finished with 4 points on 2 for 10 shooting to go along with 4 rebounds and 17 minutes of action. Guys, but he felt good. I love the fact that he said he didn't even think once about his calf, the Achilles. I know you guys loved what you saw. What are you looking forward to? The expectation, 15 minutes is now 25 minutes. We'll hear more from Frank Vogel on that. But what are you looking to see this time around?
I'm glad they took their time because, it takes time to get over that mental lapse that you have when you're coming back from a sensitive injury like that. But in the first game, he was intense. He was powerful. I saw some lateral defensive movement when he blocked the shot on Porzingis. Strong moves in the post that Rob demonstrated in the 360. Tonight, he's going to be looking to ignite that. He didn't shoot as well as he thought. I look for him to get busy with a high percentage shooting night tonight.
I think that a big key is going to be how he comes out after halftime because he's going to warm up and be ready when the game starts. But when you go into halftime, you kind of sit down, you cool down. I know he probably have some kind of ritual that he's going to do to keep it warm, but I want to see how he comes out after, if he's going to be like limping or moving slow or cautious or whatever it may be. So I'm excited that he's going to get 25 minutes tonight and he's going to be ready to rock and roll.
The Lakers they're juggling a bit of some things here because you want to keep you're focusing on Anthony Davis and as he increases those minutes. But with a win, which is most important, you distance yourself from the team you're facing tonight. And with a loss, you have to kind of start thinking about a possible play-in situation.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. When you're playing like this, back-to-back, you're in the same city, it is a playoff atmosphere. And, I know game 1 is important, but that game 2 kind of, changes the series. So I hope that that's the mentality they're in. A must-win, in a back-to-back they played well enough. In the last game, but Luka Doncic he was just too much and got his teammates involved. So we'll see with AD back how they respond.
The good thing about them being a championship quality team and great with preparation. Think about all the points that Luka scored, mostly from the free throw line.
Yeah.
So now they understand that, stay down on Luka, just stay in front of him, don't go for any of these pump fakes. And so that is where that playoff atmosphere comes into play, and they're like, let's shut him down. So I'm very interested to see if they can do that because if you watch the way Dennis played him in the first half, he played it very well because he was scoreless for a long time, and then he hit that 1-3 in the corner, and he kind of got rolling out that. But I'm excited, playoff atmosphere, and it's a must-win for these guys. So let's see what kind of attitude they have coming out the gate.
You talked about it with Luka. Keep him off the free throw line. I think it was 9 of 10, 9 of 11. Those are easy opportunities for him. Yeah. Lakers and Mavericks will tip off at 5:30 right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Now for more, it's time to check in with Lakers reporter Mike Trudell. He's got the latest on tonight's matchup. Hello, Mike.
Hey, what's happening? Ali, so I was talking to Big Shot yesterday for a Lakers event. He did happen to bring up the University of Alabama. Do you think he brought your name up in Ohio State and took a shot at you or not? Just a quick question back to you.
1,000%.
Yeah, he did. Of course he did. Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know because he's talked to me for a half hour before the show and never once mentioned it. I appreciate. You're rocking the scarlet and gray too for me, Mike. I appreciate that as well.
However, I do want to praise Robert though because he thought AD's minutes limit was going to go up. He thought maybe closer to 30. I was thinking closer to 20. Turns out it's going to be kind of in between there at right around 25. So that's where we started with Frank Vogel, just finding out how AD responded to that last game. So you get credit for that, Big Shot.
Thanks, Frank.
Responded well, very minimal soreness, and we're going to bump him up to a 25-minute restriction. And hopefully he'll be available for us at crunch time.
And then, Frank, how does that impact things in terms of second half and just the way that you might spread out those minutes within the game?
Yeah, we're going to spread it out so that he's available for a quarter for us in the last 5-6 minutes of the game.
Got it. Frank, what else did you notice about that first game, and how much does just having AD back for, even if it's 8 additional minutes, how much does that do to even out the rotations in this specific matchup with Dallas?
Yeah, last game was it's tricky to have a guy getting in and out of the lineup and focusing on that. It's a little bit unnatural, for some of the other guys. But there's a reintegration piece to our whole group. It's not just Anthony getting his legs back under him, but everybody else getting back to playing with him. And I think we saw that a little bit last game. And hopefully each game we get.
And then, Frank, you've had 12, 13 guys that have played minutes and played well at various points these last couple of weeks. Getting AD back, are there certain guys that you're going to try to work in every other game? Like, how are you dealing with the back end of the roster of guys that are going to have their minutes cut some?
Yeah, well, the mindset, for the final 13 games that we have remaining is, that we need to make sure that everybody's sharp and available going into the playoffs. We want everybody to be in rhythm. Each playoff, we saw last year that each playoff series, guys can play where others may not. And make sure that everybody, to the best of our ability, is in rhythm and ready to contribute at playoff time.
All right, guys, one other thing that Frank updated, KCP is a game-time decision with that ankle that he turned last game. Remember, he went for 29 points at 6 threes, at least 5 threes in 3 straight games. So hopefully he'll be good to go tonight, but we'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely. Well done, as always, Mike Trudell. Speaking of tonight's game, we just talked about it at the top of the show. Let's look at the Western Conference standings. The race is on right there. Just a 2-game lead in that loss column. Lake Show looking to distance themselves tonight from the Dallas Mavericks. Keep it here for the Lakers and Mavs. KCP has been lights out the past week, averaging 23 points per, including 52% beyond the arc. Kenny dropped a season-high 29 on Dallas on Thursday. He's a game-time decision with a sprained ankle. Plus, we'll have more on AD's second game back tonight and talk about how he paired alongside Andre Drummond in his return. The Brow, the Big Penguin. We've got it all after the break. We bring in our Laker insider, Mike Bresnahan. Time for Brez's 3-point play that you were looking, 3 things you were looking forward to in this game. You want to start with the West seedings, that race. Yeah, no doubt about it. You just showed the full standings a couple minutes ago. Let's take a closer look at basically 4 through 8 right now. It's getting a little interesting, Allie, especially if indeed the Lakers lose tonight. They're only a game and a half up on the Mavericks. I'm not too worried about the Lakers falling into 7th, though. Why? Look at the remaining strength of schedule. Portland has a tough road to navigate there, whereas the Lakers, kind of middle of the pack. They've played a lot of their tough games already since the All-Star break. They might even have a chance at catching the Nuggets. I don't want to get too crazy here or too far ahead of myself, but keep in mind the Nuggets, no Jamal Murray the rest of the season because of that torn ACL. And they lost Will Barton last night. A minute into that game, he's got a pretty bad hammy injury, so their whole backcourt is kind of wiped out. So there's a chance the Lakers can move up to 4, chance they stay at 5. If they lose tonight to Dallas, Dallas does have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. They might stick around a little bit, but here's what I like best about the Lakers. A very easy schedule over the next 4 games. All 4 opponents after tonight below 500, not really thinking about the playoffs at all. We like to see that. You got it. Andre Drummond. Yeah. First night against Dallas the other night. 14 points, 19 rebounds. How about that? Monster. I mean, one of his best games to the Lakers for sure. I love the offensive rebounds. He had 6. That's more than the entire Dallas starting lineup all by himself. Pretty impressive stuff right there. A couple things to look for, though. How do he and AD do together tonight? And listening to AD, talking about Anthony Davis, obviously, after the game the other night, he said he didn't quite get to his spots that he likes. Anthony likes to go down to the left block, but he kept finding himself on the right block. So maybe we'll have to see what the 2 ADs come up with tonight to maybe get Davis in the spots that he likes while keeping Drummond in the spots that he likes as well. But a very nice game for Andre Drummond. Some good defensive stats as well for him. Someone who did not have a good night the other night on the floor, LeBron James. We're still patiently awaiting his return, but you've got some numbers that may surprise people. Yeah, check this out from producer Drew. Really amazing. LeBron has not played in 17 straight games. This will be number 18 tonight, and yet he still leads the Lakers in points scored. Check this out. He's got almost a 200-point lead on Schröder, who, by the way, has been playing great in the month of April.
But, I thought we'd take this segment just to kind of remind everyone what they've been missing over the last almost 5 weeks now since LeBron last played a basketball game. Get some LeBron highlights, maybe some B-roll here. There he is kind of hanging out at the end of the bench. We don't like seeing him in that pose. Maybe we'll just see him in different masks. Maybe we'll just go with that. Okay, we'll throw in a little of LeBron in motion here. No real timetable for when he is coming back, though, Allie. The Lakers kind of keeping that close to the vest. There's been some reports out there that he might be another week or two away. But for now, we'll just have to keep watching him in the mask at the end of the bench. And keep in mind, he still has 200 more points almost than any other Laker. Outstanding stat right there.
Look at you coaching up the control room.
I'm trying.
Give us some B-roll. Brez, I've got an and one for your three-point play. In case you missed this, check this out. Vanessa Bryant taken to IG to share some great news with Kobe kick fans, noting that 2 more pairs of Kobe's are on the way.
I will be.
You have to love that.
I'll be the first in line for that. I'm going to push people out of the way.
You better.
Whatever I have to do to get my hands on those. I don't have any. How lame am I, Allie?
I can't believe you just admitted that.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Rob in the background. Barry, he answered it for me. Sorry. Well done.
I got to work on my kicks game for sure.
Shout out, though. 2 more kicks. Love it. Straight ahead, Frank Vogel said Dennis Schröder played his best game as a Laker last time out. And coming up, we'll talk about the premium point guard play Schröder has provided for the purple and gold. Access Sportsnet Lakers is brought to you. Back on Access as we take a look at the Lakers calendar tonight, taking on the Mavericks in Dallas. Monday on the road against the Magic. Wednesday on the road against the Wizards, and they return home Friday versus the Kings. And then home May 2nd against the Toronto Raptors. Guys, I want to talk a little Dennis Schröder and KCP. Let's start with Schröder coming off what Frank called big game the other night. His best game probably in a Lakers uniform, 25 and 13. I think the reality, though, is he's going to have to run it back if they're going to get that W tonight. But good on both sides of the floor.
And that's what I love about his mentality. He'll have a great game, and he knows what he has to do the next game. It's game to game for him. Very consistent. Defensively, I think he just loves the challenge of going up against the top guards in the league. And lately, his offense has proven that he can do just about everything. He shoots the 3. That shot right there, Robert Horry loves the little 15-footer. Guys don't exercise that shot anymore. And we've already seen his blow-by speed. But I think the point you're getting to, Allie, is his leadership. His leadership has been outstanding. He's communicating with his players, so I just think he can move it forward and do it again night after night. I think he can do it.
Yeah, for me, you look at basketball players and you want everybody to be like this guy. And what I mean by that is you want to be able to play defense full court. You want to be able to hit the mid-range. You want to be able to hit the three-pointer. You want to use your blow-by speed to get by people and lay it up. And then you want to make other people around you better. So if you look at a basketball player, this is a prototypical basketball player. He's doing everything on the court that a guy's supposed to do and making the guys around him better. So his play of late has been all-star caliber. And Brez, and he got a contract coming
I knew
up?
you were going to say that. Absolutely. I knew where you were going, and no doubt about it. He's a free agent in just a few short months. The thing I like about his game, he's very efficient. And that's kind of been the knock on Schröder over the years. Maybe his field goal percentage, a little too far down. Maybe his turnovers, a little too high. Not the case with the turnovers. The last 5 games, he has only 8 turnovers in almost 170 minutes. That's really efficient basketball when you consider all the dishing he's been doing with his assists. So, Rob, I know both you and James were in contract years from time to time, and sometimes the level goes up a little bit, doesn't it, guys?
Here's the thing, Big Game. You said the word consistent, and I think that's what he's proven. I know that's not the focus right now, but when you think of the future for Dennis Schröder, and you look at the time, especially without LeBron James and Anthony Davis, because it was great when they were on the floor as well, but even without them, he has been consistent, and he's been able to prove his value, I feel like, in such a short amount of time.
I mean, it comes to a point in the career, and with Schröder, it came when he signed with the Lakers. I know in the last year he was runner-up for Sixth Man of the Year. So it comes a point in your career where either you're going to be, in the same spot, mediocre, pretty good, or you're going to make a breakthrough. And he's seen these other point guards, and he thinks he's just as good. I really do in his mind, even if he's just a little bit behind some of the elite guards. But his time has come. He came there. He said, look, I want to start. I need to start, because he has developed all the things that we talked about: leadership, understanding how to get people involved, I'm sure he's watched other guards in the league, Rondo and the like. And so he's ready. He's ready to be that leader and become an all-star caliber point guard in this league.
Developing. He's been developed from day one. You look at him when he played with the Hawks, he was like, oh, he's good. He's kind of sketchy. He's using his speed. You know, he's trying to be like Tony Parker. Then he goes to OKC, and he's like, wow, this guy can score. He can come off the bench and be that explosion like, you know, a great six-man is supposed to be. And now you get with the Lakers, you was kind of like, okay, what is he going to do for the Lakers? And he's doing everything for the Lakers. He's playing great defense. He's passing the rock. And he's being that spark other than AD and LeBron that they need, you know. And the thing about it is, he doesn't always force it. And I know James and I sometimes want him to force stuff, but he sometimes takes a back seat, which makes me mad because he has the advantage a lot of the times with his speed and getting to the hole. So be a little bit more aggressive, but in the right way, and he knows how to do that. I
know I say it a lot, but I just can't help but pinpoint he and the relationship with Chris Paul, because when you think of all these things, as you're talking about developing, for Chris Paul, there's a reason why he's in the MVP conversation. It's not just because of numbers. It's because of leadership and the impact he has on other players. And Dennis learned from that a season ago. I want to change directions, go to KCP. He has been great. I know he's a game-time decision tonight. The other night, though, 29, 6 of 12 from deep. When KCP is hitting like that, we love that.
Yeah, it's tough to stop him when he is indeed hitting like that. And the defense has been there, too. I'm going to go back to last year in the bubble. He just needed to play 3 solid months of basketball, and you know what? He did. And what else happened? The Lakers won a championship. He might have been their 3rd best player down the stretch in the playoffs, behind obviously LeBron and AD. Now he's starting to perk up a little bit, guys. And guess what? 3 months from now, you know what's going to be happening. The NBA Finals will just be ending. The last possible day of the NBA Finals is the 22nd of August. So if he can get that 3-month mode going again, you know, that could be pretty special for him. I know I said August is actually the 22nd of July. James, we might be working in July yet again. But just 3 months. We asked for it last year from KCP. I remember saying on these shows, just give us 3 months of great career best basketball. Can he do it again? One more time. Is that too much to ask?
August, July, same.
Rob thought he was going to be working in August for a second.
I was like, hey, hold on now. I got to celebrate my birthday this time. Shoot.
He was trying to think his own thought. Let's go inside access on KCP. Take a look a little closer at his 3-point shooting this season. He's trending in the right direction. He has found his range in April. So he started off hot, dipped a bit there in February, but is back on the rise again, 49% from deep in the month of April. The Lakers and Mavs will tip off in a little over 30 minutes here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Kyle Kuzma scored 8 points on Thursday, snapped a string of 5 in a row in double figures for Kuz. We've got top plays of the week coming up next.
First of 6 games today in the NBA. Drummond's at it again as he steals it, turns and scores. We are fired up. Let's go, Lakers and the Mavs, where the big headline, as you've been talking about, Anthony Davis has returned. AD, and he pulls it up. Welcome back, Anthony Davis.
He shakes his head, talking about it. It's about time.
Yeah. Speed by AD, beautiful stuff. That's what we want to see. Blocked by Davis. Good play by AD.
Yeah, get there he does. Just about controlled it, too. What a play by AD.
4 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a block, a steal. Went 2 for 10 in 17 minutes. And again, this is all we're going to see of AD.
Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond took the court for the first time as members of the Lakers on Thursday night. And while the sample size was small, there were some positive seeing the bigs alongside each other in limited minutes. You see their numbers right there. AD 17, 4 and 4. Drummond, though, 14, 19, 3 blocks. Here's what AD had to say after his first game back.
I felt fine. My win felt better than I expected. I got good looks I missed. You know, obviously that comes with time, just being able to get those game reps. But I felt good out there. I felt really good. I was able to do some things to give the team a little juice. You know, came out with a great start, but it's just tough when you able to play and then you got to watch the whole second half and not be able to contribute on the floor. So that was the only tough thing, but I think I felt fine for the most part.
Time for a little Access 360 brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
Good times.
Indeed. Lakers the other night struggled to contain that guy named Luka Doncic, Luka Magic.
Yeah.
I will say this, having AD on the floor a little bit more tonight may help with that. 15 minutes the other night, turned out to be 17, but 25.
Allie,
break down what you saw.
You know, I'm not going to break the chair down because I'm going to the big wall today. You know, since I can do that
Didn't
now
expect
because
that.
It's my wall. And it's my wall, and right here we're going to see what the Lakers defense do with Luka Doncic. Right here, you know, they're pointing and talking. Look, this is what I like about Schröder. He gets up, and they're talking. We're going to send him to his right. We're going to talk about this. Everybody's eyeing him, going to step in the paint and watch this. Luka goes off the screen. Look at AD, the Drummond, the Penguin, stand in front and controlling him. Look at the great interception by AD. Off to the races, fast break, 2 points by KCP. Here is another example of good defense. Everybody's calling out the pick. He gets over the pick. But look at AD. You know, I'll switch this because we know Porzingis is going to shoot a three, but Porzingis goes to the post. But look at AD still hounding. And he comes off this, and look, Schröder sees this and still gets something like a double team, makes him shoot an air ball. Now, here's when we're going to get a little bit disappointed. Porzingis, nobody calls off the pick. Now, we got my man AC Fresh in a bad position. Now he tries to get back, and Luka being the smart player that he sees, look at his position right here. He sees the defender over here. You know what? I'm going to go around you because you're in a bad position, and your feet are not square. But look, he never got control of it. And my bad thing is Drummond didn't come over here to help to deter that. But now we got another situation right here where Luka comes off this pick full speed. They got a nice little double team. But look at my man Trez. Come on, Trez. We know better than that. He's kind of skittish on what he want to get back to his guy. A double team. He's in no man's land. That's not going to help anybody. He pump fakes. Look at KCP. Goes for that pump fake. Hopefully this game, KCP, you have learned. Stay down and stay in front. And you can't have that type of defense when you're playing Luka because he's too smart. At that young age, Allie, he's very good at getting people off their feet and doing things to put you in a bad situation.
He's very good. He's so skilled. So what is the key, big game? Defending without fouling a guy like him. You can't give him those extra shots.
Don't get hypnotized. This is what Luka does to you. And he puts you to sleep, and before you know it, he's in the cup. It has to be a commitment. Rob said it earlier. Don't go for his pump fakes. Make him shoot a tough shot. And when you commit to the double, the weak side has to be ready. They got way too many points in the paint, way too many over-the-top easy lobs. So they have to be committed to locking him, and then the weak side is where it's critical. And I'm talking mostly internally, and I think that the rotation has to be exact because he's a guy that if you let him navigate too much, he's always in first gear, never in fifth. He's going to find something. So you got to make him pick it up, get out of his hands, and then the weak side's got to be alert.
They always say you can't show him a steady diet. You got to mix it up. Can you be physical with him, Rob?
I think so. I especially like when KCP's on him because he's a bigger, stronger body than Dennis, and he kind of bodies him up. But sometimes the bad thing about that, when you body him like that, those picks that Dallas set, and they set a bunch of them, he gets caught on those picks, and he's off to the races. So I think you need to switch up. You have a fast guy like Schröder on him, then a body guy like KCP on him.
I got some news for you.
Uh-oh. What'd I do?
We just got word that KCP is out tonight.
Oh, man.
With a right ankle sprain. Ben McLemore will start in his place. For the Mavericks, they will be without Kristaps Porzingis and Josh Richardson. Both guys that poured in about 30 in that first meeting. All right, it's time for a look at the top 10 plays of the week. Let's get right to it. At number 10, Rob.